Начинается стадия игромана. Я думаю, что мы здесь
10 seconds remaining.
будем рады поделиться и прокомментировать игру.
5 seconds remaining.
Ну что ж, по-лучшему против Natus. Ребята, по номер 2. Мы ставили сегодня, кстати говоря, последний.
Dire team ban.
Ждем самого веселого и интересного.
Команда сразу чем, в ответ моментальный покер. Ну, я думаю, что да. Я думаю, что
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Navi's turn to bet. Dire team.
I speak for the trees.
Navi's turn to pick. Navi's turn to pick.
Но в то же время Нави явно не хотел отдавать Фуриона, и ему Миндер теперь неплохо играет в играть, поэтому...
Dire team pick.
Ну, это очевидно опять какой-то выход, уж может быть не прям целенаправленный, уж может быть какой-то разбол, уж не будет прям нас тем, но приблизительно что-то такое, что было в предыдущем. Ну, много, на самом деле, они могут даже...
10 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
У них такой голову. Ну да.
10 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
Да, неплохо, но это Фурион есть уже, как они будут ставить первый по линии. Как на лёгком, Фурион,
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Navi's turn to ban.
Зашел на прошлой карте, были так промутили другой.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Navi's turn to pick.
Далеко стоят, и получается просто 50 цель, которые достигают.
10 seconds remaining.
предыдущий игре, конечно, лучше тоже.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Behold the horn of Natus.
Dire team pick.
Карты заодно им показывает игрок. Можно попробовать предугадать. Предугадать его нельзя. Ты знаешь, те же ставят, испытывают просто аутоплация, окажется,
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Похоже, да.
Reserve time.
Да, вполне верно. Ну, если не говорить,
Под конец пика, если что-то конкретно, чего ради могу?
ну и для Тимпайта и Денки очень хорошо играть на Магнусе. Поэтому...
Значит, что вы комментируете?
Navi's turn to pick.
Делаю такой очень хороший выводение, но единственное, несколько непонятно, уже на линии, почему так рано.
А не могли на самом деле сейчас подобрать точнее просто использовать Natus как вот фактор, когда у тебя
Dire team pick.
привыкал к сегодня, и дальше вот, казалось бы, мог, конечно, но так скажем, возвращение проиграть. Какие-то герои, которые будут да, что-то могут, но сама по себе идея именно использовать его как цепляющий. Оставить еще героя. Соответственно, тут же обсуждали
10 seconds remaining.
я так понимаю, здесь все-таки он будет как контр-ориентация.
5 seconds remaining.
Иначе просто нечего остается добрать для размеров. Да, собственно, конечно, опять же, вот в прошлой игре Спартак был перевод, и тут нам было приятно. Будет привязан к новому роду, потому что все эти скиллы были замечательно, что Спартак появляется быстрее, и
Navi's turn to ban.
сейчас опять получается, что есть у всех героев спал, или его урон и препак, это еще было какие-то поэтому достаточно будет быть какой-то жир, либо
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Даже без протектора не убил. Поэтому они будут подвязаны.
Reserve time.
И довольно дешево.
Отже, я пиком спирита. На самом деле, не понимаю, почему
Dire team
спирита стратегия просто был подобен в предыдущей игре. И, в принципе, они схожи как герои, Леон и Спирит, то есть у них было много контроля, что у того, что у другого, но у Спирита чуть побольше
10 seconds remaining.
вот, и, в принципе, можно
Navi's turn to pick.
In the spirit.
Dire team pick.
И я допускаю, что это будет Спирит, а я на самом деле поставить, если его то это Спирит.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds
То
remaining.
есть Леон, если цепляет Леон, то
Reserve time.
Well, we'll try, and the crowd gods, they certainly will have some fun. As funny as Cuddle Guy was asking, who do you think is going to take it? They just broke out, erupted in tears. The timing was perfect. The Russian casters are on the PA, but yeah, that apparently didn't stop them. They can read our minds, so be very careful. But yeah, OG have to be reeling at least a little bit after that game one, not just because of this loss, but also just in general. This team it's been a while since they've been able to string wins together against top teams. It's not like they haven't won any games as of late, but Dota's just not coming as easy to them as it was back at Frankfurt.
And this is going to be one of the first tournaments they come to not as fan favorites, really. This is a team who, when they compete in Europe, when they played at the Frankfurt Major, they were like one of the fan favorites. Okay, maybe not so much in Shanghai, but to compete in such like a small, intimate arena, the crowd's really close to the stage. You've got these noise-canceling headphones, but as soon as you walk up the stage, you hear those chants. You hear all the crowd, all that energy going towards Na'Vi, and you're just thinking like, man, what? Like that gets to you. Well, maybe for some plays it motivates you, but
for all we know, they might be sapping OG's energy out of them. Perhaps that's how they're giving it.
Redirecting it to Na'Vi.
They have to be getting it from somewhere, right?
I think OG need to take a page from Alliance's book and get your energy back from Twitch chat. Channel your inner me.
Wow.
They've got plenty.
I don't know. Normally Na'Vi has the hearts and minds of the Twitch chat fan as well. So anyway, with that, we are underway. It's game number 2. OG taking on Na'Vi. OG on the dire side, Na'Vi on the Radiant here. And Na'Vi going back to, I'm going to call it a slightly older strategy for them, where they would run the Magnus for Dendi and at the same time still play another hero that could take advantage of the cleave, the Ember Spirit. We used to see this back when they had Havost, when frankly Na'Vi was, I mean surely before they had to shape their roster, it just felt like the team just didn't have anything left in the tank. They would actually win games with this type of lineup, so it's kind of a throwback.
And they even changed it a little bit, running these melee offliners, the Juggernaut. They've done this once or twice recently that I've seen, and it gives them that extra kind of hero that can benefit tremendously from the Empower. And Ditra, Ember Spirit, this is like, I've seen so many 60, 70 games where this guy's on Ember Spirit with like multiple rapiers. If it goes late game, like my money's on Ditra to do something crazy and either win the game for Na'Vi or throw the game for Na'Vi. But he'll decide the outcome of this game if this goes long enough.
I mean, funny you should mention the rapiers because he's already decked himself out in them. Only decorative for now, but perhaps a sign of things to come is Dendi trying to get cute there with the skill up the hill. No-Tail did have the dagger, but it is going to be a bounty room grab for him. Good effort by No-Tail to try and deny it. Won't amount to a whole lot in the end, so we'll see a Magnus mid. He's going to be up against potentially a little pressure from Crit. Curious to see where he ends up going. Could tether his way over to Fly.
Yeah, the
Io may roam top.
Io Earth Spirit's like this odd support duo. We saw this was kind of Team Liquid's downfall at the last StarLadder in Minsk, where they managed to, they're like, oh, we've got Kuro's Io as well as Jerix's Earth Spirit. Like this is like their two support players on their best hero, but they didn't really function that well as a support duo because neither of them really zones the offlaner that well. Both of them kind of fulfill like a pseudo roaming type role, so it doesn't give you the best laning presence. And we'll have to see if OG kind of watch that and going to make adjustments.
First roll from Fly off the mark and was in fact scouted here by the Observer Ward of Na'Vi. What do you think of the laning setup, guys? OG starting with effectively a quad lane top Prophet straight to the jungle. Moon's not even trying to lane.
Ember's a great safe laner to run against Nature's Prophet, and I think Moon just decides he can get more farm out of the jungle, come online earlier, as far as just getting up his phase boots to start pressuring towers, and he's going to make the move into the jungle first, so.
Yeah, generally what we see when this happens is either getting really greedy in terms of your stacking and your pulling, or sometimes the supports start to rotate, so this is curious to see if he tries to make a move on mid, but for now Miracle is having his way there with Demi, a lot of early harass.
Na'Vi effectively are getting farm out of all 3 lanes right now, and I mean, free farm in the bottom lane. The Lion can pull and jungle as well, so we should be seeing some farm as well as levels on Siniko online, so all in all, Na'Vi should get a huge farming advantage out of the lane.
Yeah, his Prophet is going to TP bottom, but this has allowed the Lion to get off the side pull here, so Siniko is being efficient. Meanwhile, top lane, General going in onto Crit at the same time. The Avenger Marks are holding back and has already committed the Brave Fury forward and might be in trouble now. The Creeps cooperating to try and help him out, but now they're turning on to Fly. They're angry. They want some kill, and in the end, it's the Fire Spirit that goes on General. He's going to turn this one. Siniko's TP'd in, trying to finish up Crit. One more auto attack will do the trick, but he can't quite get a range, and now No-Tail might end up getting the second kill here for OG. They tether forward. They are going to slice him down. A 2-for-1 with the TP from the Lion, but the Jug does make it back to safety, so it's only really supports going down here.
Yeah, first blood to Na'Vi as well, but it cost him a Lion TP, so I think all in all, much better exchange for OG.
The graph certainly reflecting that overall. OG coming out on top there, and Well, also want to take note of the fact that the Nature's Prophet of Moon has gotten a lot of space just in that minute or two. Suddenly level 4, phase boot's coming soon, so as soon as the rotation of the top lane happens, he gets way more confident in this bottom lane.
Yeah, he's come down bottom and will at least put a bit of pressure onto Vincere. We'll see how much he can actually get done here. But for Na'Vi, I think overall it's just like kind of be ready. Don't get too overly aggressive there. They get the first blood. They tried to get greedy and go for the second kill on the IO, and ultimately that kind of led to them giving up a couple of kills. Even a 1-for-1 trade there would have been fine for Na'Vi.
Yeah, it would have been great as would have been a first blood too. Was a first blood, but would have been a cleaner first blood. There's the 2-hero trade. Fly rolling forward, great initiation on Artsal. In a lot of trouble, but the Blazer is connected to bringing him low, spinning onto Fly. Can he finish the job? No, one more on attack. Jimbo again diving for this, and now gonna get turned on the Nature's Prophet arriving. No till. Actually, the last take away to Moon. So now Moon, phase boots online, a successful rotation for him. Costly top lane.
Na'Vi a bit too aggressive again. Like, yeah, you get jumped on there, you need to just let the Vengeful Spirit die. General's trying to think like, oh, I can get this trade. Even if he manages to get the kill there onto the Earth Spirit, he's going to go down in return. It's at best case scenario, you get a 2-for-1. Worst case scenario, exactly what happens. You lose both heroes, you don't even kill the Earth Spirit. So I feel like he should just be letting the Venge go down there. And Na'Vi is suddenly finding themselves in this position where early on, level 1, level 2, they were fine with this dual lane in the off lane, but now that No-Tail Crit have their levels, and more importantly, Earth Spirit Fly has his levels, this top lane is starting to fall apart for Na'Vi.
There's nighttime, and Seneco's moved on to mid. He has a point in Hex now. Miracle dropping the silence, but too slow. Seneco no boots, just chucking out the shockwave. Does force a TP reaction from Fly.
It's a bottle refill.
A bottle reaction.
Like Miracle needs a bit of help. Sure.
There's about to be a Dream Coil though. I think OG want to go for Dendi here.
Yeah, with as low as he is.
But the D ward, he may begin. Catapult, just lobbing attacks at this Observer ward, and OG, I guess, gonna have to go for the deny on this ward soon. Oh, does change targets, so lives for now.
Try and bait Dendi in as he goes for the ward, but don't think anything like that's going to work. Not with the Radiant team having vision in the high ground mid as well.
It'd be pretty bad if Dendi just walked in with there's a Prophet ultimate, plainly visible.
Dendi may just overestimate his own tankiness and die to something like a Nature's Prophet ultimate with a Dream Call. I think OG very likely will be looking to get this Prophet active as soon as possible.
Yeah, it feels like they're really strong right now. Prophet ult online, the Puck ult online, Spectre ult not too far off. And even Crit having, I would say, a better time than he did last game, for sure, and almost keeping up in the levels that he had in the dual lane now that he's in a tri-lane. Yeah, thanks to the kills.
They found huge success out of their safe lane here. No-Tail with phase boots, picks up an Orb of Venom Magic. So we'll just see him probably go for some of these cheap, cost-effective items early. You earn the obvious one to follow from here, and he's going to hit a well-timed level 6, and you've got huge global presence. You've got Io who can relocate one, Prophet can TP anywhere, Spectre can haunt anywhere there's a hero, so every hero has some effective kind of global presence here.
They found General, and Moon's going to come in from behind. General now, Blade Fury trying to retreat, but Art Style not really able to offer much support in the auto attacks for Moon, again collecting his free bounty. Did commit the ultimate for that, but that's going to help shut out this bottom lane, which was pushing, is immediately rotating to the bottom lane. Fly, who's been on point on the Earth Spirit thus far, is gonna successfully hold the tower. So they're getting their levels on their supports. They've got their key early levels on the cores, and now the farm's starting to ramp up. Everything going OG's way.
And this is where like the offlane Juggernaut becomes a big liability, because he's not a hero that can easily transition into jungle. He's gone for a 2 Blade Crew build, has got the Quelling Blade, so theoretically could at least jungle slowly, but he doesn't have like a Mask of Death to sustain himself. And bottom lane,
Fly does get caught out. The Hex into a stun, well played by Seneco, and Na'Vi will start to get back on the board, but Miracle's TP'd in here.
They spotted
the
board, so they
did see him. They've got one on the high ground.
They should know fully well what's happening down here. And I think Seneco with his positioning is showing just that.
Is he gonna go for a TP cancel here? Not sure he saw him, but in any case, would not have been a kill.
Yeah, not really worth revealing your position just for that.
Now that they know the puck's bottom, this might be a chance to go on the top lane. It looks like Artstyle is thinking about it. They don't have the Omni Slash just yet, though. So it's Crit that can also bring down with the Blade Fury, as well as a quick Venge stun. Now trying to back away. I don't know if they get this kill. Crit's got an earn. He's a lot tankier now, and General might die again in the top lane. From long range comes the kick. He's going to need a crit here, I think. Stun coming through, and Seneco will salvage it, but they are just hungry for these top lane. Okay, I'll get out. I mean, it's only a slight salvage, though. That's a 3-hero commitment just to kill an IO. They hate crit. That's the only thing to really be said.
Crit turns around a lot here in this top lane, as is Notel. I mean, Artcel's play there where he just stuns and then insta TPs. He knows that if he doesn't TP out, Notel is going to kill him. Best case scenario, like, they may kill the Io there, but they're always going to lose heroes in the turn.
Wow, Dendy trying to bait OG and they do the on ready. Dendy's got some backup here. Notel, barely squishy. Could be turned on. Gets the RP off. It's on the one, and now they're running, come surging in. Zero getting aggressive. Wants to bring down Miracle. That's a huge kill. He can grab it, but Miracle, for the time being, has managed to survive. Tries for a kill. Theo will get the kill. Eddie split away. Auto charges, bringing him back for safety. Eddie will escape. 3 Na'Vi heroes, just shreds of HP. They waltz away, but oh man, one more AoE nuke. It could have been 3 for none the other way.
And looking at where things were standing and how poorly the laning stage was going for Na'Vi, it had to come from D-Tra. He was the one hero doing well. A level like Ember Spirit has that rotation potential, even pre-boots of travel, just to TP in, guaranteed initiation using the Fire Remnant to try and turn around the fight, and he barely gets away with it, but a much-needed retaliation coming from D-Tra there.
Now that puts our Ember Spirit atop the net worth chart. Is saving quite a bit of gold, God, so I'm wondering, do you think we will see the return of the old BOT build this game?
It's looking like a travel spell. I think it's still, for the most part, like the go-to build for Ember Spirits. And in that carry role, he just wants to have that global presence where he can maintain his farm and then come to a team fight without having to be there from the get-go, and that's what the Boots of Travel kind of allow him to do.
There's an Omni/Mango. Is General gonna dive the IO again?
We've seen how well that's in the past.
General, that stove has burnt you, I think, like 4 times at this point. 3 personal deaths, some supports dying to save him. He ought to know better by now. And he is gonna back down. There's a Nature's Prophet up at the ready. Haunt on cooldown for 20 seconds here, but Na'Vi getting very aggressive, showing supports in the lane behind the tower. Just trying to maybe force out a TP, but there's nothing doing. They find the lane where it's also find a Miracle, and they are off. Heavy damage on him is going to force him back, but then the turnaround comes fly into the river, making his move forward. Even with a coil, would not be enough for the kill. So they're not going to bother. A lot of movement here from both teams as the supports levels become of utmost priority. Seneko,
she's level 4. He's probably, like, as far as supports go, the most important to get level 6. Earth Spirit, fairly important, but I think the Lions is an even bigger one.
Bottom lane, they have committed the dive. They do not want to give Seneko that XP. 2 hero stun, and then the Hex on the 3rd, but it's simply not enough.
And it looks like a big 3-hero commitment with a Horde for just a level 4 support line, but it's worth it at this stage because of how important Lion's Finger of Death is going to become for Na'Vi. As far as, like, what's Na'Vi's next move? To me, it's get level 6 online and then go for a smoke play. He's the burst damage you need to guarantee an insta-kill on someone like a Lion. But, like an insta-kill on someone like a Puck from the Lion, so getting that level 6 Finger of Death becomes crucial. Alternatively, the Blink Dagger for Dendy, but even Blink Dagger Magnus alone, you may not have the follow-up damage to secure a kill.
Yeah, it looks like Dendy is closing in on it, so Blink Dagger coming soon as they do dive deep behind the tower. Started off with a crit, appropriate, and they will finish him off. So finally, Na'Vi, 4 or 5 times they have dove that SDI, and this time a clean kill. Oh, Dendy now skew away the Sprout, almost holding him place long enough to fly his boulder kick to connect there, but will barely escape. So now he grabs the tier 1 top to match the tier 1 bottom as OG look for the 2nd tower of the game for their squad. Slowly hacking away at mid. That blink is real close, gods. And with the BOTs and Ember, Na'Vi are going to get a lot scarier.
And that's always been like the beauty of these Na'Vi Magnus drafts is so many times I've seen them down like 10, 15k net worth, and then all it takes is that one team fight with a Magnus RP, an Empower on an Ember Spirit, a Juggernaut, whatever it may be, and then suddenly, back then it was Havast on the carry just cleaning up that one team fight and turning around the big fight. So they're not going to be phased by like a slightly early game deficit that we're seeing here, and if anything, it's a tiny deficit. It's less than 1,500 gold difference between the 2 teams. So,
and they're running a double melee core physical damage lineup with 2 cores that can use Empower, and they have Avenge. So you look at late game, OG have great late game in their own right, a lot of global presence, a lot of team fight potential, but Na'Vi are not lacking, and should they get BKBs, they'll be very tough to deal with.
And Jug is one of the kind of natural counters to Spectre as well.
Fly.
Ooh, nice boulder smash.
Good smash there, but Na'Vi are still chasing it. Don't even have another swap. They're fully committed on this one. And now it goes down to turn it around, dropping the coil, hitting several low. JLR forced to jump away down download the river, and No-Tail's gonna chase him out. Can he finish up the Ember? Dendy skewers forward, he wants to keep No-Tail up. Bodyguarding Digger on the way back, but the supports have fallen. He still chases, the chains are ready, and now Moon even TP's in. Maybe they can turn on to General instead. He's still gonna play Fear available. Digger out, quick flame blade out. The earn forward. OG thinking about a tier 3 tower dive. Will finally have to give up the goose and almost killing crit on the retreat out. Na'Vi searching for the trade. They still have a Blink RP ready. So but OG do get the supports.
Yeah, they got the supports. Lion couldn't get his finger off. It was just such a great silence. Miracle, I think, caught 4 heroes in the coil. The silence caught 3, maybe 4 as well. That was without a Blink Dagger. He managed to do that, and that's
why he did have a ward of this. Dendy skewered back, and it's into the Hex of Sineko. He saw the rotation from the mag, but I mean, hey, you're tanking a Blink RP as a support, so not the worst thing in the world here. For OG.
Na'Vi can look to transition off of this. They know there's still no Haunt for a little while, but even without Haunt, like, No-Tail can fight pretty damn well by just keeping in. He's gone for all these early game stat items. We'll be going into a phase drums fairly soon, and there we go. Yeah, he's even finished the drums already.
And you want to air off straight back into Battle Fury build. Pretty standard for the Boots of Travel Ember.
Cleave and some more cleave with the Magnus.
And that's the scary thing for OG is I don't think they can keep up in a farm war. Once the Battle Fury comes online, you think about a Juggernaut getting, I mean, even just stat items with Empower, you don't really need a Battle Fury. It's going to be, this lineup will farm disgusting.
Yeah, they're not going to want to get into that farm war. They've got the pick-off potential. That's the OG game plan. Find the pick-offs. They've got the global presence from Horn to relocate, and Moon on the Nature's Prophets rushing an Orchid after the phase drum. So this is very much geared towards being able to gank Ember Spirit specifically, but even like Juggernaut, you can prevent the Blade Fury away, you can prevent the Magnus from getting a Spear out, so a great game in general to go for the Orchid on Nature's Prophet.
They are going to scout this one out, but Na'Vi don't really have the best lineup to contest the Roshan pit. No easy way to access it, aside from maybe an Ember Spirit Remnant. He's going to move down towards the pit. They are getting close, but the Roshan's already fallen. OG will grab the Aegis, and Na'Vi, I think very wisely, just backing away.
Crit was low in the pit, but Na'Vi just don't have that information, and
they don't really have the best initiation. The swap only level 1, RP
was on cooldown.
Was on cooldown, and even if it was ready, you're still jumping into a puck, and Miracle has had insanely fast reactions for a long time now. So.
With Puck with a Blink Silence and the Orchid on Nature's Prophet, I wouldn't be surprised to see Dendy rush a BKB now. Often you see like a 4-star first, or yours is the other slide option, but I think the BKB is the more reliable one to guarantee that you can get the RP when you want to go for it, because the yours means you throw yourself up in the air, and if anything it may less like lead into OG just catching him with another silence when he lands, for example. So.
Speaking of Miracle, thinking about initiation here on the mid lane, Sineko scouted out, but Noji not aware of how many heroes lurk behind him, if any, and Miracle's not going to risk it. Just back himself away. Even drawing on the map here, I was actually thinking Navi's up in our jungle. They are coming for us, but in fact Navi have been playing the economy game. Quite a change of pace from game 1. Yeah. Not trying to force fights, mostly just farming and angling more for the late game.
For Na'Vi, they really want to get as much vision up as possible now to just allow Vincere to kind of aggressively split push. With the amount of catch on OG's side, it gets a lot trickier for him to keep pushing out these lanes. But he's close to that Black Battle Fury, and if he can just manage to get there and then get like that defensive item to follow it up, life gets a whole lot easier for Na'Vi, because they can defend high ground for days with this draft.
Yeah, I mean, you can even see it in the skill build of Dendy. Oh, Miracle is blinked into Na'Vi. The Hex is ready. They're going to steal it back. Oh, he slides the track finish ball. Oh, they get the silence on the general at this point. Get out for Na'Vi. They thought they had a split. I didn't see Miracle kill, but it's anything but, as Na'Vi are now getting hounded back, herded towards the wall. 4 dead. Couldn't be by Digger, the TPA, the lone survivor. They just didn't have the firepower there, gods. Couldn't bring the puck down, and not bursting the puck means an instant slaughter for the Na'Vi team.
Yeah, That got ugly quick, and for OG, recognizing they want to just take the fight to Na'Vi now, it's crazy to think that the team with the Spectre wants to like be aggressive and fight before Na'Vi get items, so I think if anything, that's the position OG are in. If Na'Vi get their Battle Fury Ember, get some more items to deal with the silences, this game gets very difficult for OG in the late game. If anything, I think OG just straight up lose the late game.
Yeah, what a sick prediction play there by Fly. Throwing out the boulder as the Sleight of Fist begins, just timing it right, but they didn't have much follow-up, so they can't kill DRA still. Radiant is Battle Fury, but I mean, yeah, when you look at Dendi just maxing in power burst, only taking 1 point at skewer, you pretty much see the game plan that Na'Vi have written clear as day. I think OG recognized that too.
That smoke underneath the Observer Ward.
Yeah, they have backed off very far. OG, super defensive posture now.
Notel's kind of low, but I think he's trying to calculate how long it takes for them to reach him. He may actually get caught out here. Oh, Notel.
He's a little rusty on his arithmetic, but Na'Vi, they had the wrong way, so.
Yeah, Na'Vi didn't have quite the vision of where he was. And
if they guessed right, maybe they get in range, but
I had the Aegis as well, so.
Yeah.
Structures are fortified.
Could have been ugly had they jumped him.
So Haunt up in 12, this mid-fight, Na'Vi need to get out soon, I think.
There's no such thing as soon enough as Miracle blinks in, but they had the vision for him to stun him. Trying to control him. Change somehow for Kennedy says, hell no, and slams that up. He gets the kill with Saneko, but he gets hard on Archon next to the Orchid. Support has arrived for OG, and that's going to be a 2-for-1.
Wow, such a good hex from Saneko though.
Great quick draw, but I like the way OG just piled in. They're like, well, we may have lost our Miracle, but we're going to get something in revenge.
As soon as Saneko blinks in aggressively there, like Na'Vi are losing 1 to 2 heroes. If they don't get that hex up on him, he just dream coils, silences, and cleans up the fight. So Na'Vi make the best of a bad situation. I think that's, if anything, an even trade between the two teams there. But to the two supports.
Oh, this is the kill that can happen. They are on top lane in a bit of danger here, but zips away to the top tower. Good job using the Battle Fury there. Eats the tree, heads to the north, and bides his time. And as soon as that gank fails, he goes low HP, TP's bottom, and starts farming, but OG are already hunting. Oh, dagger coming through. They've got the vision. He remnants back. I think he's out of range here. Should be able to get back unless the Prophet also arrives. But that Prophet actually all farming the jungle. Still, you can see OG, they do not want to give Na'Vi any breathing room.
Yeah, and for Na'Vi, it's like Detroit doesn't want to waste, he wants to be as efficient as possible. Rather than TPing home to heal up, he TP's bottom to immediately try and pressure these lanes. His job is very much to keep these lanes as pushed out as possible without getting caught, which so far he's done a great job of this game. He's not died once against a blink silence on Park. This Orchid's been online for Moon for about 5 minutes now as well, so he's played an incredible game on the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, Na'Vi have died 16 times, he has died 0. So they are,
you can't ask for much more right now.
Yeah, you mentioned feeding Divine Rapiers, but so far, if there's any to be fed, I think it's coming from General or from someone on OG at this rate.
The dual lane and the off lane for Na'Vi was the one lane that just kind of collapsed this game, so.
This is interesting. Fly has gone back for that 21-minute Midas on Earth Spirit. Now, this hero does benefit a lot from farm. I mean, whether it's getting the Aghanims late game or just some cheaper utility items. The Veil, of course, very handy. But how do you feel about this like overall strategy of just taking it more late?
I think OG. As much as, okay, so I kind of talked about how I don't think OG match up well in the late game, but if they can be really far ahead and farm, that's like their way to play the late game. And the thing is, their draft doesn't actually break the base very well. The only good pushing sieging hero they have is Nature's Prophet, who alone isn't going to be enough because you've got an Ember Spirit with Empower, so there's more than enough to deal with Treants. There's also a great hero to deal with just split push in general. So OG are kind of forced to play this late game, like forced to play into the late game, and that's where a hero like Earth Spirit is pretty much getting the Midas to guarantee he's got some great itemization and levels when it comes to that 40-50 minute stage of the game. Because unless OG find like a couple great team fights in a row, this game very likely going in 40-50 minutes.
And the items are continuing to come out now. DL Raw. Looks like a likely Crystallis is going to be coming soon. Maybe get some tool to try and deal with the silences from OG, we'll see, but
I'm not really convinced that Moon going for Ags is the right choice this game, though.
What would you rather see?
Just straight DPS. I think he needs to be like the main like single target right-click damage, because Notel as a carry in the late game, he's going to get kited a bit. He just doesn't deal enough fast burst damage, and burst damage with this lineup comes from either like a Puck Dagon or Nature's Prophet having like a crit Hex type build. The Ags I just don't see the Treant split push being effective against an Ember Spirit
and a Jug with the power. It might even just be free farm for Navi.
That to me is a big concern. I think Moon can't just spam out this ultimate and feed away gold to the Ember Spirit. It does keep your lanes pushed out, which gives you map control, creates pickup opportunities, but this is not the item that stood out to me as what Moon should be getting.
Yeah, I mean, to some extent it can be a team fight item if you look to get like the Octarine Refresher and just maximize your team fight burst, but that's also a long way off. It requires 2-3 items, and by that point, Navi will have their own. So they are going to smoke now. They're showing DRA very posted up here in the top lane, but they actually are making their move on, and this is a clever little loop by Navi, and it's going to work. They get the first kill here. To the RP is not very effective. OG almost losing fight, but he barely scares away. Dimple comes in. He cleans up. It's 2 down. Moon, though, looking to make the best of it after the buyback to Yara. Fancy footwork, has the break, but not going to get a chance to use it as the Miracle Yules will cut him off at the knees and close out any path of retreat. So barely escaping his fly at 30 HP, and to go with them crit on just over 100. It still almost was a 4 for 3 with a buyback, but instead a lot sweeter for OG.
Still a net gain for Navi. They kill off what, two of the 3 OG cores, the Spectre as well as the Nature's Prophet. Puck does manage to survive the fight and gain a decent amount of gold, but I think all in all, a win for Navi, just it could have been a bigger win. If they managed to kill the Osprey, who survived him at 50 HP, the IO also relocated out very low in HP, so it was almost a massive win for them. And if Dendi hits the RP on Miracle's Puck there, it's just like complete team wipe. So great fight from Navi, just a few small things didn't go their way, so it's just like a small victory in the end.
He's about to get a BKB as well, so at that point, you don't have to worry about getting silenced by the Earth Spirit, stunned by him, or silenced by the Puck, and he'll have a much easier time hitting that RP come soon, so. The other thing to note is whenever there's a fight like that, even if they lose one core, if the other's alive for Navi, they're going to flash flood. They've got cleave on both, either through the Empower or just straight through the Battle Fury on the Emperor. And General is catching up at this point as far as net worth goes. He's right there with the Spectre.
A fight like that when you're an underfarmed core like a Juggernaut and you're killing off the Spectre is huge for your net worth. So he's suddenly back in the game with a Diffusal, has a decent chunk of gold, and the Omni Slash is just one of the best spells to have against the Spectre when you're trying to bring him down, because you're just not worried about the dispersion damage kind of being reflected on you. And once if you isolate the Spectre with it, he just doesn't have a good escape with it. He can't rely on very good.
Nothing but smiles right now. Sleight of fist, straight running it out, doesn't even hit the ground and floats away. And you could see OG, they're feeling the pressure, gods. It's not enough just to get a pick here or there. They need big kills on cores, and they need them pretty much 24/7.
Dieteraz moving around and playing so well against these silencers, I don't even feel like he has to go for a defensive item right now. The Blink Dagger alone, he plays his hero so well, you could easily justify going straight into that Daedalus now if he wants to. And with the Empower damage output, he just becomes such a hard hitter that really would cause a lot of problems for OG in a team fight.
Things looking better and better for Navi. By no means have they won the game, but more it's remaining static. We've also seen, talking about No-Tail real quickly, has not gone for the Radiance build. Yep. He's gone into a Yasha, and it looks like quite likely early Manta Diffusal will be the choice, and this is a combat build. So OG are going to have additional pressure from the Spectre's items as well to make something happen in the next 15-20 minutes.
Yeah, with the 2k gold saved up, I'm curious to see if he goes for the Radiance now, or if he just commits for that full fighting build with like Manta, Diffusal. It's not. The Radiance is like particularly doesn't do much against the Jug Omni Slash, which is often where you see Spectres go for a tankier build against Juggernaut.
You get that slight evasion for the auto attacks in between the Omni slashes, but that's pretty minimal.
Yeah, he actually takes the Manta. Yeah, he buys the ultimate off, gets the Manta online, helps soak up the Omni Slash damage with the illusion. So I like this choice from No-Tail, but I'm still concerned about like their late game carry potential out of the Spectre and Nature's Prophet, who is going for the Octarine after the Ag, something you mentioned you generally want to do with the Aghanims build up. This just means less farm for No-Tail, less farm for Miracle. And definitely very low. This is where the Earth Spirit Midas makes sense, because he's not getting any farm, so Midas actually gives him like a bit of gold here and there.
That's where you almost wonder, would more Midases make more sense for us?
It's like, do I go Midas now, guys? Like, we're not winning this game anytime soon, so...
Moon's already gotten his effective Midas on the Prophet, so I'm going to call it at least 2.
I mean, Moon's going to be the one on taking up all the farm on the map very soon. Killing those farms during the game, and that's not changing anytime soon as far as the OG cores go.
But as we talked about, Na'Vi, they really have the horses to deal with the Trianard swarms. Yep. Massive cleave, good mobility. Even the Jug's pretty mobile and difficult to gank here with the drums, the phase boots, and the Blade Fury TP out. And OG has so much that they do find Artstyle here, dropping the coil, but Artstyle looking to run away. The Yules is going to catch him. A secondary takedown as Dendy's going to drop, and OG finds some big kills here. Do they take objectives now? Still a tier 1 left standing top, and you can see Seneko is going to get one cheeky little set off in the lane, then a TP away. So OG finding just enough objectives here with the tier 1 about to fall. They keep a little pressure on Na'Vi as Crit looks for more bottom.
Yeah, Vincere pressuring out this bottom lane. Does have Fly waiting at the tower for him if he gets too aggressive here.
BKB now for
Who goes to the defensive option, wants to be able to get out of all these silences.
But doesn't have it yet. He's killable, gods. But they're gonna need more than this. They go for the kill, the silence roll forward, then the tether coming in. The silence will be ending soon. No, the prophet arrives, throws in the secondary silence, comes to the Orchid. Perfect chain silence from OG.
Fly got scouted out by the Sleight of Fist, but he timed the Boulder Smash on the Sleight of Fist back perfectly with the stun, and that's very difficult to do because you have to kind of calculate and time how many units the Sleight of Fist is going to hit and when he's going to return to his original position. So great play coming out from Fly.
Oh, no tail. Yes, the Manta, he's looking to dodge that bench stun, and he probably breaks that Artstyle here. While that was going on, though, the bigger kill happening in the jungle, the general Juggernaut falls, and Na'Vi, well, they're getting picked apart. This is exactly what OG needed, the way they itemized, for the most part, going for early to mid-game items, and pressure items, and they are finding the fruits of that pressure here. Yeah.
Na'Vi
3 kills.
They're at their strongest when they're defending high ground, but they need to put themselves in a position to do that, and getting picked off outside of their base, one hero getting picked off is fine. You've always just going to make sure, like, okay, one hero gets picked off, let's group up the score in our base and make sure that OG don't get follow-up pick off. But when you've got 3 dead, and suddenly OG's on your high ground, you've got big problems.
They're looking for the RP. Dendy. We've seen when Na'Vi's back has been against the wall in tournaments past, but sometimes he comes up to mid on the mag. Originally not really considered a Dendy hero, so to speak, but he has found ways to make big plays for the team, and it seems like he may need to, gods. With just 1 or 2 more picks, OG could be threatening high ground and trying to end this game before the Jug and Ember get their items.
And even for Vincere, like, a Hex onto Miracle's puck means he's not going to be necessarily safe with the BKB. If you get the Hex onto him, you fold up by it with a Boulder Smash and get the correct chain stun, he may not get a chance to pop the BKB before going down. So Puck already completes Hex with 30 minutes in this game, and life going to get more and more difficult for the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, it's kind of up to Artstyle here to have the defensive swap ready, but not very mobile.
He's not going to be where the Ember Spirit is most of the time is the problem. You want Ember Spirit deep on the map, keeping these lanes pressured, and Miracle and Fly, there we go, 2-man smoke. They are hunting for Vincere, who does not know a Hex exists.
Let's see if he sticks around. He might back after this wave, but right as he will take, he's thinking about Miracle, debuts the Hex. At a thunderous applause on the top lane. Quick, easy kill.
Meanwhile, Juggernaut bottom, he gets out. So that's okay. Could actually look for the relocate him, but the Blade Fury TP, that's like, Vincere does nothing wrong there. He needs seen the ultimate new Hex is coming at some point, but his job is very much to be the one hero out on the map, pushing out these lanes, and like, if he's not pushing out the lanes, he's not doing his job as an Ember Spirit, so OG just doing a great job punishing that.
On the side of Na'Vi, Seneko getting caught out here. The initiation comes in against the Miracle Hex, and now the RP, but then he's been silenced. He's unable to follow this up with a screw back, and that means that instead it's Na'Vi on the run. 4 heroes, General first to fall, and 3 more. Chase deep by Notel, who's going to commit in even a bit further. He gets skewered back all the way towards the top. They kill up Notel once the Miracle's going to clean up the Lion dropping. Omni side, that's already Notel. Trying to make his way out. It will take more escape. General will not be able to get off the Omni. Notel walks away. They didn't have a relocate. That was disastrous for Notel at least, but Na'Vi losing more and more hemorrhaging kills as OG finding their footing here in game 2. Strike back, and gods might just give us our first game 3 of the event.
They're just executing so well, OG. All of their ganks, all of their high ground pushes, they're punishing every little misposition. Moon will get caught out here, and
there's the relocate. Back to the wall. They're able to run it around here. Moon's coming back. He pops the BKB. as Moon arrives and, well, straight back to his BMing ways, finds the kill. And with that, OG, they find the win, and they get their feet under themselves. You know, God, the last time I saw Moon try to swag on opponents before series was over, it was Tidehunter at Shanghai.
And be careful. I mean, at this point, OG need whatever confidence they can get, because coming off a bad loss at Dota, coming off a Game 1 loss to Navi here, this is a team who's going to start questioning their own capabilities, even as a major champion. So they take Game 2, they've got to take that into Game 3 and really